You are walking into a room you have never been in before, and suddenly you stop. Something feels wrong. Not wrong like danger, wrong like memory. You have been here before. You know what someone is about to say before they say it, but you have never met these people. You have never seen this room. Your brain insists otherwise. This is déjà vu, and the real answer to what causes it is far stranger than your soul remembers a past life. Nearly 2 out of 3 people will experience this at some point, some more than others. It usually strikes between the ages of 15 and 25, then fades with age. Why would evolution build a glitch like this into a young brain and then quietly switch it off? To understand that, you have to go inside the machinery of memory itself. Your brain does not store memories like a video file. It stores fragments. A smell here, a shape of a doorway there, the angle of light through a window. When you walk into a new space, your brain is not just seeing it. It is scanning it, breaking it into pieces, and comparing those pieces against everything you have ever experienced. Most of the time, this happens instantly and invisibly. You never notice the comparison. You just experience the present moment as new. But sometimes the system misfires. Neuroscientist Akira O'Connor at the University of St. Andrews has spent years trying to trigger déjà vu on purpose inside a lab. His method sounds almost too simple. He reads people lists of related words: bed, pillow, yawn, blanket, snore. Notice what is missing. The word sleep is never said. Yet when he later asks if any of those words started with the letter S, some participants insist they heard sleep. Their brain falsely tags a memory that never happened. And for a strange percentage of people, this false tagging comes with an eerie side effect. They report the unmistakable sensation of déjà vu, even though they know, logically, they never heard that word before. What does that tell you? It tells you déjà vu might not be your memory malfunctioning. It might be your memory checking itself. O'Connor's leading theory reframes the entire experience. Déjà vu is not a false memory. It is your brain's error detection system catching a false memory before it fully forms and rejecting it. Think of it like a spell checker running in the background of your mind. Most of the time it works silently, but every so often it flags something, and for a split second, you become consciously aware of the checking process itself. That awareness is the eerie feeling, not a memory, a glimpse of your own memory system auditing itself in real time. This lines up with something else researchers noticed. Déjà vu peaks in your teens and 20s, then declines sharply as you age. That timing is not random. Your brain's memory checking system, centered in a region called the frontal cortex, is still maturing during those years. It is powerful, but not yet perfectly calibrated. It throws more false alarms. As the frontal cortex matures into your 30s and beyond, the checking system gets more efficient. Fewer false alarms, less déjà vu. There is another clue buried in a much stranger population: people with temporal lobe epilepsy. For decades, neurologists like those studying patients at the Cleveland Clinic have documented something remarkable. Some patients experience intense, prolonged déjà vu seconds before a seizure begins. Not a flicker, a flood. For them, it can last minutes, and it feels utterly, overwhelmingly real, as if they are reliving an exact moment from their past down to the smell in the air. Why would a seizure trigger déjà vu? Because the seizure originates in the temporal lobe, the exact region responsible for recognition and memory retrieval. When electrical activity misfires there, it does not create a hallucination out of nothing. It hijacks the recognition circuit itself and fires it without a real trigger. Your brain screams, "I know this," with no actual memory behind the scream. This gives researchers a rare window most sciences do not get. An extreme version of a normal glitch, played out in slow motion, in a controlled clinical setting. So if déjà vu in epilepsy is the recognition system misfiring under abnormal electrical storms, ordinary déjà vu in a healthy brain may be a tiny, harmless version of the exact same short circuit. A 1-second flicker instead of a 2-minute flood. Here is where it gets stranger still. Psychologist Ann Cleary at Colorado State University has spent over a decade studying a related question. Why does déjà vu so often come with a bizarre bonus feeling, Not just recognition, but prediction. People frequently report knowing what will happen next during a déjà vu episode, even though they cannot actually predict it correctly when tested. Cleary's research used virtual reality. She built digital scenes that spatially mirrored other scenes participants had already explored, without the participants consciously realizing the layouts matched. Bedroom, then junkyard, arranged in the same configuration. Participants who navigated the second scene were significantly more likely to report déjà vu, and many insisted they could predict what was coming next. They could not, but the feeling was undeniable to them anyway. Cleary's theory is called Gestalt familiarity. Your brain does not need to consciously recognize every detail of a scene to sense that its overall structure matches something stored in memory. A doorway on the left, a window on the right, a lamp in the corner. You may never have seen this exact room, but your brain has seen this exact layout of shapes before, somewhere else, sometime else. The specific memory stays hidden below conscious awareness. Only the emotional residue surfaces. Familiarity without a source. Recognition without a memory to point to. That mismatch is the entire experience of déjà vu in a single sentence. Your brain confidently declaring, "I know this," while simultaneously failing to produce any evidence for the claim. Consider what this means about how your mind actually works, moment to moment, all day, every day, without your awareness. You are not experiencing raw reality. You are experiencing your brain's best guess about reality, built from fragments, patterns, and probability, updated continuously, almost always accurately, occasionally catching itself in the act. Déjà vu is not a paranormal leak from a previous life. It is not evidence of the simulation glitching. It is something far more human and, in its own way, more remarkable. It is proof that you have a quality control system running constantly inside your skull, checking your own memories for accuracy, so quietly that you almost never know it is there. Almost never, except for that one moment. Standing in a doorway you swear you have stood in before. Hearing a sentence you swear you have already heard. For one flickering second, the machinery shows itself. The curtain lifts on a process your brain runs 1,000 times a day in total silence. You are not remembering the past. You are watching your own mind catch itself thinking. And maybe that is stranger and more wonderful than any past life ever could be.